Hello and welcome to the Marc Jeffrey Podcast Show. This is episode 23, August the 8th, 2017, recorded from the studio on the hill, southwest UK, not a million miles from London. The Marc Jeffrey Podcast Show is proud to be part of the UK Britpod scene, and please check out lots of fantastic shows by simply typing hashtag Britpod scene. Episode 23 was once again proudly brought to you by MPC Solutions for all your computer needs. Yo, what's up, podcasters? Yes, I am back once again, and apologies for my absence for the last 2 weeks. I was away having fun with the family and also enjoying myself with my brother up at Kendal Calling. So, what is occurring on episode 23, I hear you ask? Well, I will be introducing you to Liam. He is a new face and member of the team here in the studio in the hill. We are very, very excited about that one. I know you're going to love him. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm also going to be telling you what I got up to at this year's Kendal Calling Festival. It was amazing, very muddy, but we had a cracking time. And I also have two shamazing tracks from a band over in Seattle, and the band is called Darto. Hopefully I got that one right. So let's do this, shall we?
The Marc Jeffrey Podcast Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Liam is here.
Whee.
How is it, mate?
Oh, it's brilliant, mate.
You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, good to be back.
How's life?
Life is good, mate. Life is good.
Now, we had Liam on the show on episode 16. If you didn't get a chance to listen to that, get on over to my webpage and look up episode 16. Me and Liam was talking radio.
We were talking radio, reminiscing.
Reminiscing the days when we were on the radio together. NCB, Eat Music, all our local radio stations and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And our show, we decided before Christmas sort of time, wasn't it, that we was going to call Shut Doors on it.
Try something different.
Different. And we haven't. And we will be talking a little bit more about that in a second. But before we do, I just wanted to, since when we last spoke and we last done our radio show, it was before Christmas, and we was talking about all the celebrities that have passed away in 2016.
Yes.
And how bad it was and what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Now we're in 2017. What the frickin' hell's going on?
Doesn't seem to have got any better, does it?
They're gradually like, what's going on? I mean, we had the chap from Lincoln Park sadly pass away. What about nearly a month ago? I'm just trying to think what his name was.
Chester Bennington.
See, this is why I've got Liam on the
Chester
show. He
Bennington.
knows his shit. Yeah, he passed away, hung himself, sadly. A lot of shit going on in his life.
Yeah,
I do believe.
a lot of stuff. I think aside from the celebrity thing, the kind of mental health thing's affecting everyone now. That's something I'm seeing more.
He had a lot of shit in his life, mate.
He did.
Apparently,
yeah.
he sexually abused as a child and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's not great.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that no matter who you are, no matter how much money you've got in your bank,
it can't buy you happiness.
It can. If something's in the head and it's going wrong,
it affects everyone.
Yeah. So, why, Liam? Why are all these celebrities in 2017?
You're pinning me down for an answer. I don't know.
Why are they all doing this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, thank you very much for that, Liam.
Something a bit brighter.
We just thought we'd smash out episode 23 with celebrities killing themselves.
Yeah,
good start to introduce.
Well, start
Liam.
with that, and then we'll move to something happier. I'm sure.
So, mate, why is Liam here? Well, like I say, before Christmas last year, me and Liam decided that we was going to call it a day on the radio and with NCB, and we was going to go freelance in the new year. And we're now in August.
Turns out it's 8 months, 9 months probably, time we've stopped.
And we haven't actually done nothing together.
No, nothing.
So my plan was that what I was going to do was I was going to set up a radio show that you and me was going to do, and we was gonna broadcast it to the world and go freelance, wouldn't we? And
how'd that work out?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I started up this podcast.
Yeah.
and we're like, I was going to do a podcast, and I was also going to do a radio show as well, but I've just not got the hours in the day. So I had 2 weeks off because I find that, you've got to have a bit of time off from radio work or podcasting.
Yeah.
And I had 2 weeks off, and I had chance to, I flew up to Kendal, up to the Kendal Festival,
Okay.
up on the plane, flew up this year, and I had plenty of time to listen to my podcast. And do you know what? I'm not happy with it.
You're not happy?
Well,
I'm not surprised you didn't have that long to listen to it, did you? If you'd driven up, you could have listened to them all.
Well, I had all these plans in the beginning for my podcast. I had plans for the podcast to be on my life and things going on in my life and things going on around the world, and we was going to play some unsigned music. And it sort of has gone down that route, and I'm happy the way things are going. You at home have been listening, and it's been sounding fantastic. The audio's good, and I'm happy the way things are going. But I'm not 100% happy. You know what I'm like, mate. I'm a very, very picky person. I pick things with myself.
I think no one's ever really happy with what they produce and their own work, are they? Not really.
So, I listened to myself and all this lot, and I thought, right, well, how can I make my podcast better? And when I very first started my podcast, I wanted to do like influential speaks and add that into it. And it was because no matter what you do in life, if you listen to a radio show or if you watch a television show, do you find that whatever you do, that person that you watch influences the sort of stuff you do? Are you with me?
Yeah. No, I can get that, depending on what it is, obviously.
Well, my first show that I used to listen to was the Cliff Ravenscraft show, and he's a chap from Canada, I think he is. He's a motivational speaker and all that sort of stuff. And I was listening to a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and I sort of, listening back on it, sort of like, I was beginning to sound a little bit like him. I didn't have the Canadian or the accent. But you could
start to impersonate him.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, you could tell that I was reading my scripts. And you could tell I was just sounding boring. It wasn't the podcast that I wanted to do. And Catherine, I think on about an episode 12, something like that, she got in contact with me and she told me that I was sounding boring and Jaff, you can do better. And it was about that sort of time, episode 14, I started, Blaze come round, my next door neighbour, and he said to me, you've got to start listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. So I started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I tell you what, mate, his influence, they've just turned me crazy.
Open your eyes.
Well, he's just turned me crazy. I mean, if you've listened to previous, I'd say the last 10 podcasts, I'm starting to talk like this and talk like that and saying frickin' this and frickin' that. And I listened back at it, mate, and I'm just sounding crazy. So I needed somebody here that I could trust that would ground me, make me sound who I am and not be anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, Liam is here.
Woo! Hello.
He is. So
you're saying I'm insane as well, am I?
No, I'm just saying that you ground me, mate. You make you just make me more of who I am. You know what I mean?
That sounds like you're going to sing now.
Yeah, so we're not going to... This show, don't worry, people. It's not going to change. The name of the show's not going to change. The format's not going to change.
Oh, cheers then.
It's just, we're going to be... That's me phone ringing. That's the missus.
Oh.
She can wait.
Put her on.
No, so... She's gone. Yeah, so that was the missus. I can ring her back in a minute. But yeah, so that's what I was going on about, and also with having you here, Liam, podcasts, they take so long to do. I did say, didn't I? She's left me an answer machine message.
Why aren't you
now.
answering?
No, that podcasts take so long to do. And like I said, I did plan to do a podcast, my own podcast, and then we was going to do a radio show with you. I just haven't got the time, mate. So I thought, what better thing to do? Get Liam in on the show.
Get me involved.
And we'll get involved on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to it, mate.
How, on a half an hour to an hour podcast, right? How long do you think approximately I spend a week doing a podcast? Doing all the gubbins that come with it.
Oh, quite a few hours, I would think.
Well, on a rough estimate, it takes me about 10 hours a week
I thought you were going to say 10 days.
to do a podcast.
Okay. That's a fair bit.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, when you're a family man like I am, that's a lot of hours that you're delving into your time.
Yeah.
And, if you think to yourself as well, I'm doing something now. I know I enjoy what I'm doing, but I'm doing something which is also a hobby. But wouldn't it be nice to get paid for it?
It would, but that could happen, and that will happen eventually, won't it?
Well, I've got a little secret that I want to share with you.
Oh, drum roll.
Now,
you're not going to be resigning, are you? Live on?
No.
I say live as a podcast.
No. As Harold Bishop would say. No. See, I told you he's crazy. 2 weeks ago, my secret is 2 weeks ago, I had an email from a sponsor.
Okay.
Saying, Marc, we like the work that you're doing. We can relate to your work with we can relate to your brand and who you are branding your podcast to.
Lovely.
And we would like to offer you a sponsorship deal.
Okay.
Now, straight away, I was absolutely buzzing. Now I can start making some money from doing the podcast.
Yeah.
I've always said to you at home that it's not all about the money. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to entertain you and keep you happy and stuff like that. But if somebody chucks money at you, right, your eyes are going to open up, isn't it? It's new microphones. You can pay for your new mixing board, pay for my Libsyn account and all that lot. So I said to them, well, what sort of money are you looking at here now? And they said to me, and I'm not going to mention their name for the simple fact that it'll follow on in a minute and you'll understand why I'm not going to mention their name.
Okay.
They said to me that, Marc, we will give you £80 an episode.
Oh, okay.
£80 an episode to sponsor your show. Straight away, I was absolutely buzzing. But
it's like something out of Toy Story now, and I'm just knocking toys around the floor.
But I turned it down.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And the reason why I turned it down...
Was it Woolworths, was it?
No. The reason why I turned it down was because basically they wanted to buy 5 minutes of my podcast.
Okay.
And unlike the Joe Rogan show where he would say, right, I got a freaking good deal here for you now, such and such, and he would talk about the product.
Yeah.
They wanted to buy 5 minutes of my show right at the beginning.
Okay.
And they wanted to put their own advert for 5 minutes at the beginning. Now, you guys at home, you make this podcast, and I know for a freaking fact, of course, hard for me to say.
Nearly said something else then. God.
That you listeners would just turn off.
Yeah. No, it's what puts me off about American television.
Right.
Is the way they do the adverts often. It's not so much like the ITVs you can put up with every 15 minutes having a couple of minutes, but when they go straight to their sponsors and it's for quite a bit,
yeah,
it kind of puts you off.
So, as much as the money would have been nice and it would have paid for a few things, I had to turn it on this occasion.
Oh, it's good to stick to your principles for the show, isn't it?
Principles is you at home, you, my listener, you make the show. And by me putting all this crap on at the beginning, it's lining my pocket, but it's not doing what I set out to do.
No, fair play to you. Fair play.
We've got Liam on board. We've got Liam on board to like I say.
And I'm matching that price.
Yeah. He's now,
you haven't told me that.
He's now giving me
$2,000 a minute.
£80. So that's what's going on, guys. That's the start of it. And should we play some music? What do you reckon? What we'll do is, because I've got to get the missus back, haven't I? So I've got to speak to her. So we're going to play some music for you at home here now. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the group. Now, Shauna from Shameless Promotions, she sent me in some stuff, and she has sent me in an LP from a group called Darto. I think that's what it's called.
Darto.
And the LP is called Human Giving. And it comes out on the 8th of September, but it's not released in the UK until the 22nd of September.
Okay.
Now, it's the music is fans for Velvet. It's similar to the Velvet Underground, the Brian Johnson Massacre, the The Black Rider, This Will Destroy You, and stuff like that. Can't say that I've really heard of any other group there other than the Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, mate, it's good shit. And I've got the LP in front of me here now, and I am going to play it for you. If you like it, you can check them out on SoundCloud. You can check them out on Facebook, and all of the links will be put on my show notes.
Excellent.
Jaff 10 at simplesite.com, so get over that and check out the show notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you this song here now, and I want you to tell me exactly what you think.
I brought you flowers. I said goodbye 3 times all. The petals turned brown, so I left them in the light. You lied. There's nothing. They've all gone too. It's nowhere. The streets remind us we never felt so full here. Lie down, the photo is there. Hanging on the wall, in time becoming your own archaeology. Stories you told us. Someday you'll come this way. She's untying the yellow ribbon. See that we're older now. Stories remain unchanged. We never
So that was Omniscient. What did you think about that one, mate?
Yeah, I really like that, mate.
And that, I've got all the details here. That was by the band called Darto.
Darto.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how you pronounce it. You know, I'm like forgetting
Yeah.
names. I haven't got any better over the years since the time you've gone. And they are from America, I do believe. Shauna did tell me they are from, where are we to here? They are from North America. No, they're not from North America. They're from Seattle. They're a trio from Seattle. And she sent me over that, Shauna from Shameless Records. And I really, really enjoyed that.
That's
really
good.
enjoyed it.
No,
And I know,
I can see the influence that they were saying, like the Velvet Underground and things like that. It sounds really psychedelic-y kind of.
I've not really paid much attention to Velvet Underground, mate, to be honest with you. I don't really know much of their stuff.
No, they're proper, spacey and kind of, as I say, psychedelic-y kind of, but just really, real nice. The voice cutting through the echo and the reverb and the.
Yeah, I
like that.
Yeah, we've got another track of theirs coming out very, very soon. Liam's chosen that one from the album, so we're going to play that one in a second. I just wanted to talk to you, Liam, about radio because, like I say, we've both been in the radio business ourselves, And when I was up at Kendal Calling at the festival, it was a little topic that me, my brother and Joe was having a discussion on, was radio and the radio format and the radio media. And a question that was brought up is radio dying? Do you think that radio is dying?
I used to think so. Now I'm not so sure, really. I think there's a lot of choice about, and they were on about switching off all the FM and AM stuff. Well, like this year, a few years back.
For DAB radio to take over?
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think DAB has ever been ready enough to take over completely. Plus, not everyone's got the signal, even now. But I think radio's doing well. I must admit, recently I've been listening a bit more to like some of the BBC Six music and things I haven't listened to before, and some really good stuff out there.
Well, one of the things that my brother come up with is he said that once upon a time he was a fan of Radio X, which I do believe is a radio station up in Manchester, isn't it? Is it a northern radio station?
Okay, that's the one with Chris Moyles now.
Yeah, Chris Moyles, and I agree with my brother saying the music that they play on there, even though it's indie music and it's my sort of music, it's the same music they play all of the time. If you was to record, it's that same song is on 3 or 4 times in a day.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to the radio over 8 hours, you do notice that there's a lot of the same music on it.
There's a lot repeating, mate. It's a lot of they're just pushing the same kind of age range, aren't they, really?
And one thing my brother said as well is Chris Moyles.
Yeah.
He's just said it's the same shit that Chris Moyles does all of the time.
It's like the same breakfast show or whatever show he does it.
Moaning and bitching all the time.
Same format. There's nothing really different.
And Chris Moyles does his own podcast, the Radio X. And like the thing is, what Matt was getting at is he turns the radio on in the morning, and all he's hearing he said for the first 40 minutes of his show, there was no music played at all. It was just talking. And I'm beginning to think that a lot of these radio stations now are starting to go down that route where they're getting a lot of presenters just talking all the time. And then you look, they got a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It does seem to have... I suppose there's so many radio stations that just play music, aren't there? There's quite a few like the 60s, 70s ones and 80s and the indie, absolute 90s and stuff like that. It's strange, isn't it? It's a strange old business.
These radio stations are getting hit hard, though. I mean, the thing is, definitely. It's like for what we used to do on a community radio station and an internet radio station, people are now able to listen to genres of music that they like rather than listening to the same continuous, monotonous radio. Songs, so that is affecting them hard. There's a huge... So when they say radio's dying, I think there's a more radio stations now than there's ever been. But the one thing that is affecting them is, when do you listen to radio? When do you personally listen to radio?
Probably morning. I'm not just morning, but it all depends.
Radio has always been that thing that you've turned on to when you get in the car driving to work.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
Now, with in-car entertainment systems in cars now, do you think that people are getting in their car and there's apps for iTunes in the car? There's apps for Spotify. You've got podcasts available.
Yeah.
Do you think that more people are getting in the car now and listening to Spotify, iTunes and podcasts rather than listening to radios?
I reckon there's different ways of doing it now. I reckon you can listen to all the music you want to without having to listen through and see if it turns up on a radio station, really.
I hardly listen to radio at all now.
No.
And the reason why I asked this question is because once upon a time, you and me was going to do another radio show. Do you know what, mate? I couldn't give two shits about radio anymore. I'll do this podcast. I thoroughly enjoy doing this podcast to you at home. And I'm not interested about going back to radio, one little thing at all.
It's a hard kind of format to break into and do well in, really. You've got to really have an established kind of thing. It is hard to just start a new radio station and do well.
Yeah, it is. And what we're doing here now, you and me, we're our own bosses. We can say what we want. We can do what we want. There's nobody telling us.
We can drink what we want.
Yeah. I feel like getting a glass of port out. Should we get a glass of port out?
Yeah. I brought a hip flask.
You're hip enough for a hip flask.
Right.
Oh, which leads me on to another question brother was talking about.
Yes.
Hipsters.
Hipsters.
Yeah? What is the definition of a hipster?
Well, in popular terms, kind of, it's beard, trendy glasses, shorts, chino shorts.
Yeah, but what makes you a hipster? Do you know what I mean? Because Joe and Matt were saying that hipsters have been around since the 60s.
Well, they have.
But they couldn't give me a clear definition of what hipster was.
But then I'm guessing it was more to do with like the political kind of thing and all the kind of beatnik and all like that. Now it just seems to be like everyone else, doesn't it? Everyone of a certain age, rather than.
Joe was saying that hipster is somebody that is different, has different views and opinions and fashion to everybody else.
Which is ironic because now they just wear the same.
See, I don't think he got it right. I think a hipster is somebody that is currently in with the trends and they are hip.
I think it's probably has changed because they're not different at all. No, you look at I sound old now. I'm saying, remember when? But
think how I feel, man. I'm about 10, 15 years older than you.
But I'm reckoning blokes. Well, not just blokes, but mainly male and females between the age of what, early 20s to late 20s now. Really trying to look, all hip and that, and we don't need to look hip. We can wear what we want.
I'd say what, man. There was lots of hipsters up at Kendal.
Oh man, they love it.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about Kendal Calling now. Kendal Calling, I always talk about this, and I'm probably boring you to death, but it's a festival that I go to every year up in Penrith. Absolutely, I love this festival. This is my fourth year now. Fourth year.
Can I make it a fifth?
I am going to make it a fifth. Yeah, the tickets are already on sale. I haven't bought mine yet, but I'm going to check that I can get time off work or tell work that I'm having time off. But there's lots of hipsters up there, mate. And
I bet.
I didn't see as many beards this year. I think we've had
Beards
this conversation.
Are going out, mate. Beards are going out.
There's massive amounts of money in facial hair. I do think the amount of people that have got them are slowly dying out.
I think the people that have got the beards are the ones that have had them for years. I think people that just went through that phase, they got rid of them.
Women hipsters.
Have they got beards?
No, I like their style. Yeah. I've noticed at festivals, the amount of real small shorts where your ass is nearly hanging out the bottom. Oh, it was amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, another thing that was up at Kendal as well, there was loads and loads of, I suppose it's a northern thing, but loads of people cheering and chanting Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I'm not going to say the first because there might have been others, but the first festival politician, like someone that's really not in a parody or take the piss out of him kind of a way. Actually, was it Glastonbury he was at, and he went out, and there's just thousands of people come to see him.
Liam,
yeah.
Who is he?
Who is he?
Who is Jeremy Corbyn?
Who is he?
Tell the people from America or from around the world, who is Jeremy Corbyn?
Well, basically, he is the head of the Labour Party in the UK, and he wasn't supposed to do very well. His own party and the other parties in the UK thought he wouldn't do very well because he was different, basically, and had different views. And actually, he did very, very well and could have not quite easily, but actually could have got into power and may well get into power in the very near future, really.
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch it. But
yeah. So, Kendal, I'll tell you what, mate.
Kendal.
It was, how can I put it? It was a wet one this year. I didn't get rained upon much, which, for Penrith, up in the Lake District, it rains all the time. Even in the hottest part of the year, it still rains. But the mud, I've never seen mud like it. I mean, I've gone Kendal 4 years, and out of those 4 years, we've had 3 years of mud. But this was like real thick, gloopy, struggling to walk through mud.
I did feel for you. I did see the forecast and that. It was looking messy. I'll say that.
And to laugh, me and my brother's walking along, and there's this girl running down the slope, and next minute,
beautiful,
she went straight down, face flat in the mud, and she was just screaming. And honestly, man, she stood up, and it looked like the black and white minstrels show. When you pick them up, you see them dancing with the white gloves and the black faces and stuff.
I bet no one filmed that at all, did they?
No, it was brilliant. But I had a real good time, mate.
That's good.
I've seen some cracking bands. Thursday night when we got there, Happy Mondays with a support act.
Oh, that's good.
And it was quite good to see Sean Ryder taking the mickey out of Bez, because Bez was on the stage dancing with his maracas, but he's in his 50s now, and he had a pair of shorts on with a bright blue knee brace on.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So they were the support act for Franz Ferdinand.
Okay.
Franz Ferdinand with the headline act, like I say, on Thursday night on the main stage. Then on Friday, we had a little bit of rain in the morning, but we saw Kate Nash. She was very, very good. She came out in all like psychedelic lycra, which was nice for
Kate Nash?
which was nice for the male eyes and female eyes,
And
if you're
female
into that
eyes.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there was a local band that we went to see over in the Chaiwala stage, and they
Bless
were
you.
called Land of the Giants, and they're a Plymouth-based, Devon-based outfit.
Yes, very well known as well down in this part of the...
My brother
of the
knows
woods.
the lead singer,
Oh, that's good.
Andy Quick. And we decided that we was going to go over and watch them. Now, they were playing 3:00 in the afternoon, and we got there and we stood there, and there's a DJ playing. It got about 3:15, and he was like, "What's going on here?" So my brother went over to the DJ and asked what was going on, and apparently they got stuck in traffic at Preston and they'd lost the slot.
Oh, that's gutting though.
But every cloud has a silver lining. They managed to get a slot at 6:00 because a DJ that was supposed to be playing thought that he was playing on the Saturday night, and he wasn't. He was playing on the Friday night. Moron. And they managed to get his slot.
To be fair, that's probably a better time, isn't it?
Better slot. When they got there, the sun was beaming down, and their sort of music, folky, sort of jazzy sort of music, they just
proper
pulled
festival
the
music,
crowd in, mate. And it was nice to see a bit of luck there for Andy and the guys. And
no, they'll be going for that slot again, I should imagine.
And what was quite funny about it is, I've seen Land of the Giants quite a few times now, and I recognise the faces, but there was a few people in the band that was new, and they had a guitarist there, and I was looking at him and I thought, I recognise him, and I couldn't picture where I'd seen him from. And then it came into me, I do remember where I've seen him from. You and me interviewed him once upon a time at Eat Music.
Okay.
But I couldn't remember which band it was. So I went over and said to him, I said, "Mate," I said, "I recognise you from..." So he goes, "Mr. Jeffrey." And it was Rob, the guitarist from Orangutan Wheelbarrow.
Oh, man.
So they do remember us. So like I say, Andy Quick, the lead singer, he came out afterwards from Land of the Giants, and he had a little bit of a drink and a chat with us. It was
That's
really,
good.
really good. Thank you very much, Andy, if you're listening. It was a great honour to have you come out and have a drink with us, and really, really did appreciate that. And then we ran over to the main stage and we watched Jake Bugg.
Jake Bugg.
Wasn't feeling it, mate.
No.
Wasn't feeling it. I've seen him. That's the 5th time I've seen him now. And the last 2 times, he was playing a lot of his newer stuff, and it was the samey, no stage presence. I think his time's done, mate.
Well, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because his first album did really well, and I really liked it. But his second album, I didn't even buy it. I think I streamed it, I did buy it then. But it's not great. It's one of those groups or one of those artists that I think he did really well with the first, and there's been really nothing notable after that. I don't know, it's kind of off the back of that, really.
And then the problem was then is Jake Bogg was the support act for the night, and you had to really pick the crowd up then for the main act. But the main act was Stereophonics, and they were absolutely tidy.
Well, you can't really go wrong with Stereophonics, can you?
Kerry Jones, I'll tell you what, I've got a bit of a man crush on Kerry Jones.
Yeah.
He good-looking bloke. He knows how to rock the stage out, and I'll tell you what, mate, they've done an absolutely fantastic job. So that was Friday night. Saturday, right? There was a few bands on Saturday that I really, really enjoyed. Reverend and the Makers. Have you ever heard of them?
I have, yeah.
Very good. Very
Okay,
good.
yeah.
Enjoyed that one. Then after that, we had Feeder, and the 90s band. And I thought they were an American group, but they're actually an
No.
English group.
They did a warm-up thing down at Perrin Porth, I believe.
Indeed, they
Didn't
did.
A mate of mine went down and saw that.
Yeah, very, very good live.
Yeah.
After that was the Editors.
Editors.
I watched a bit of that, but I went on a stroll. I went around and had a bit of a stroll
Don't know
around the
huge
festival.
lot.
They were
by-
good.
by
They
the-
were good.
Okay.
And then after that, bit here for you, Brian Wilson, and he done his Pet Sound sets.
See, I like this because I know that he's of that age that it might not be brilliant, but it's just to say that you've seen a bit of, or you've seen Brian Wilson singing one of, well, arguably one of the kind of iconic albums.
And apparently it's going to be the last time he's touring.
Well, I can see why they're all.
I can see why, because it was crap.
They're all getting on a bit, but like I say, I still go and see groups or artists now that are like from the 60s and 70s that aren't great, to be honest. But to kind of, well, actually, case in point is the old Status Quo.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw like 2 years ago. I thought, might not be able to see them much longer. Turns out
Good job we did see him.
you couldn't see them much longer.
No.
But yeah.
So I'm sure Brian Wilson was on the stage with all of the Pet Shop, not the Pet Shop Boys. No, the what they called
that would be quite a good if they had the Pet Shop Boys up
Beach
there.
Boys.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
one.
sure all the Beach Boys were there because there was just like loads of old men all sat down and leaning up against things on the stage.
Brian Wilson, he's a genius, but I suppose
He should have given up, mate.
it all comes to an end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Eventually.
And then to top the night off, the headlining act was the Manic Street Preachers, another Welsh band
Yeah.
that rocked it again. Sounded fantastic. We saw them last year at the Eden Project.
Yeah, we did, mate. Brilliant.
And they were absolutely brilliant. So we went and done that. And then after that, we had an early night because I was absolutely jiggery pokered after
Bet
that.
you probably
lot.
had a day of it.
Really, 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 really. Sunday morning, woke up and had a bit of a lay-in.
Yeah.
And then we ventured over to the main stage and watched The Slaves.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if nobody has ever listened to The Slaves before, you must go and see them live. Fantastic. It's a duo. They play ska music and a punky, scarry sort of music.
Okay.
You've got a bloke on the electric guitar and you've got one bloke smashing the crap out of a drum on the main stage. He's got a big drum and he's got like a hi-hat and cymbals, and he's just got like two drums and a bass drum, and that's it. And I'll tell you what, mate, he was smashing the drums, full on smashing the drums, but with a drumstick the wrong way round, so with a thick end.
Okay.
Oh, and they absolutely rocked it, mate. He absolutely done an amazing job.
That's brilliant, mate.
Really, really
Well,
enjoyed
sounds like
it,
you had
The
a really good
Slaves.
time.
And then C6 Steve
Okay. Yeah.
was on
yeah.
after that.
I
And
do like C-Steve.
yeah, I
Steve.
took a walk. Didn't watch him. I've seen him quite a few times, and there's only so many brang tanging of a guitar that I can deal with. And then it was a choice at the end of the evening to close the festival whether we was going to watch the Coral or Tiny Temper. And silly old me, I chose Coral, and what a bag of shite. Now we saw them down the Eden Project. We saw the main bloke, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw the main chap. I mean, I like the Coral, but again,
Boring.
after that one album with the few songs on that everyone knows they want to hear those songs. Basically, most people don't know a lot of their stuff.
Well, I mean, they were on the second biggest stage at Kendal, and it was a big tent, and the tent was packed out, full. Right, you couldn't get anybody else in there. There was probably about 10 people deep at the outside the tent, and they come on there. Now, when you do a festival, you've got to remember that you're not playing to the festival. People haven't come to see you, they've come to the festival, so you've got to play your greatest hits rather than and put a few new releases in. First 4 songs that come out, right? I never even heard of them before. They were the new stuff, and there was people just turning around and walking away.
See, I think they're probably one group that are an album group almost. You listen to the album, don't you? But they're different when you see them playing live, I reckon.
Yeah. So that was my festival this year, Kendal Calling. Not my festival, but
My festival.
Mine.
Well, you've been enough times.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I love it every time I go.
That's cool.
If it's a family festival that you're after, you got little kiddie winks. If it's food that you love, I mean, the food that's there is absolutely brilliant. Every year it's going up in price. I had a burrito which come to about £8, but it was really, really nice. There's a beer festival there as well.
Oh man, I'm there then.
Nice dark ale called Kendal Ale, and it's at a festival that's up in Penrith, and it holds between 18 and 25,000 people. And it does rain, your car will get stuck in the mud, but it was an absolutely fantastic festival. So that's what I got up to, and that's why I haven't been here for the last 2 weeks, and apologies.
Sounds like you had a really good time though. That's
I
the
did.
main thing.
But whenever you go to a festival, you have the festival come downs.
Oh, the blues.
And God, how much did I drink when I was at Kendal Calling this year?
Oh, did you put it away, did you?
Oh, yeah, every single... I mean, we was getting up like 8 o'clock in the morning, drinking port.
In the morning?
In the morning, mate, yeah.
Oh, even I'm not that
and
bad.
I discovered a new drink called Kraken Rum. Now, I did ask you to look that up, didn't I, on your...
Yeah, well, obviously,
Did you-
I haven't.
You haven't?
But I will, as you're talking about. So you were drinking tons of stuff, were you?
Yeah, it was a drink called Kraken Rum. And now, I'm not a lover of rum. Rum doesn't do anything for me, but it's a spicy rum.
Bet you are now.
And we had it with ginger ale, and I don't like ginger ale, and ice, and it comes with a shot of lime. And I'll tell you, my brother said, we've got to go and try it, and we did, and I absolutely loved it. And we also had some Jaeger as well. And
Oh,
and
man.
I'm not a lover of Jaeger at all.
Jaeger's a night ender.
But like I say, we drank all these different drinks, and coming home, drinking all of the time. I ended up down the pub Friday night as well and had to work Saturday. Non-alcoholic at the moment. And then I went down the caravan this weekend with the family, straight into the pub. So I need to get my fitness back. I think I'm going to push the drink to one side now. I need to get my fitness back. And before I went to Kendal, I was doing really well with my taekwondo. So I need to get my fitness back. And
Yeah.
did you find this rum that I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I have it. It actually looks really nice. It's black spiced rum, 40%. That's all.
Yeah.
Dark spiced Caribbean rum introduced into the UK in spring 2010.
Yeah, I knew it was a new drink, but it came out around the same sort of time as Jaeger, and so I think you need to try some because you bloody coughing your guts up here.
Oh,
You?
man.
I've got a bit of a cold there.
Little bit. Summer cold.
So yeah, so try that one out. Another nice drink there that we've come up across. But like I say, taekwondo. I need to get back to. I'd done taekwondo last Wednesday for my first time back since I got back. Imagine all that drink inside of me. Oh, I've never sweated so much in all my life.
You're right, Mr. Jeffries.
Oh, I was in a right state, man. My shirt like changed colour. I was absolutely soaking, and the bloke that does it, Sam, lovely bloke. It's his 21st that weekend as well, and he was struggling a little bit, but pushed us to the limit. But I got my grade in for my first belt in September, so I should be going for a yellow tag. There's a white belt with a yellow tag. So it's all coming along good. Fitness is getting good. I need to start pushing the tempo now. So I think it's time now, because you're struggling there a bit, Liam.
Well, I'm all right.
I think it's
It's all
time
good.
that we played another song, don't you?
I do too.
What do you fancy? I told you when I went out and rung up Nikki back, I told you to find me a song. And what did you find me? You went for the last one, was it?
Yeah, I went for the last track of the same band that we've played just a bit ago. And
Darto.
Darto, that's the one. And I really like this track.
All right, well, we'll put it on here for you now, and you can tell us what you think.
Waiting around for that southbound train. Still don't know when I'll see you again. Southbound train, boundless plain. Love has changed, ways the same. Forged away, bright side rain. Still can't stay born this way. Say goodbye to the northbound train. Fall in love all over again. Northbound train, bound to change. Know its name comes like rain. Life is plain, don't remain. Love seems strange, play that game.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was that one called? That was called American Storyteller or something, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, American Storyteller.
American
I like that.
Storyteller. That's track number 12 from the Dario album, I think it's called.
Dario.
Did we say Dario?
Darto.
Darto.
Dario.
Darto. And apologies. Darto. And that album comes out in North America on September the 22nd. No, September the 8th it comes out in North America. God. And it comes out September the 22nd in the UK. So check that out, guys. Like I said, the links will be on this week's show notes. And I'd just like to say a thank you to Shauna for sending that in. She is Shameless Promotions, and she sends in a lot of the music to us, and she is absolutely amazing. Good track that one, Liam, isn't it?
Beautiful. No, I do like it. I really like the sound of that.
So, Liam, one question I have got to ask you, because like I say, it's
Yeah.
coming towards the end of the show now, this end of the episode. What do you think? I mean, I know you've kept a little bit quiet tonight because you have got a bit of the man flu. He's not been very well for the last few days. But what do you think that you will bring to this podcast?
What do I think I'll bring? I think I'll bring a bit of sanity,
True.
bit of humour.
I'm
hoping.
freaking crazy.
Fucking laser beam. Yeah. No, all of the above.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think you're doing really well anyway, but Yeah, we can.
We're gonna
We have a
gel.
good time.
It's
Don't
gonna
we?
be good shit.
We have a good time.
And if you could choose a guest, anybody, right, that you would like to interview with me on the podcast, who would you choose?
What, dead or alive?
Well, it'd be hard to choose somebody who's dead, wouldn't it? Because it'd be a bit of a hard interview to interview somebody who's dead.
Well, we could try. What, local or what?
Anybody.
Anyone.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be Ross
Ross.
from work. That's
Our
just
mate,
come into
our
my
mate
head.
Ross from work.
That would be absolutely beautiful. We've got to do that. No, that's got to happen.
So we've got to get Ross from work in here to do a podcast.
It's going to turn more into a police-style interview, I think. But yeah,
We're going to have to lock the port away.
for the purpose of the tape.
And it might become a bit of a
coughing.
football thing because that's all he knows about
Oh
is
my
football.
God. Yeah, do it. Come on.
But yeah, that'd be cool. We'll give Ross a shout. Get him to come on. I've got quite a few more guests lined up, to be fair. We've got
Okay.
Carl. Now, Carl is the owner of Lucky 13, a men's barber, my local barber.
Okay.
And I'd love to get him on the show, but he's got a few things going on in his life, and he's been very, very busy, and it's a hard one. But we will get him in sometime. I
Of
promise
course,
you.
yeah.
Next week, fingers crossed, I'm going to try and get a lass in called Tamsin, and she's my travel agent. I think she'll be interesting. She'll be interested to talk
Excellent.
to.
No,
She's
sounds
also done a
good.
bit of radio work for a local radio station. We've also got Jodine lined up. Now, she is the founder of Gummy Glove Limited. She's an entrepreneur. They made their first million this year and aiming for £5 million next year. And she'll be interesting to have on. And also Snake Man Scott.
Snake Man Scott.
Yeah. So we've got lots of people that we've
That's
got
a
lined
lineup,
up.
isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. Have you got any topics that you wanted to bring up quickly before we go? Anything that you thought about that's going on that you wanted to just talk about, or?
Well, you said think about something, and I normally go to something that annoys me, but I just wanted to see, and maybe some people kind of get in contact. What do you think about crowdfunding?
Tell me more.
Because I'm not entirely sure where I sit with it, to be honest. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It's like the acceptable face of begging, if I can say it. Not with everything.
Can I just say, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about here.
Crowdfunding where you kind of set up a page for giving
Oh.
money. I don't necessarily, like I say, I don't disagree 100% because sometimes it is like a hospice or a charity will set up for a particular thing. But when you see sometimes people like saying, had all my camera equipment nicked, I'm setting up a crowdfunding page for you to fund my, to be able to buy some more. It's not specifically with camera gear or, you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you're talking
But
about.
I find it uneasy begging or asking people for money.
It is begging, isn't it? You see it loads at the moment.
And it seems to be the way that, well, in the UK anyway, at the moment, it seems to have gone that route a bit more rather than making preparation. And again, I'm not talking about everything. Obviously
No.
the kids that have been sent abroad that are really ill or, their final time for Disney and all that kind of thing. It is different. There's different parts of it. But sometimes it's taken advantage of when people just need to be making plans.
Yeah. I mean,
Insurance is what we used to call it.
Yeah, I mean, once upon a time, it started off, didn't it, with like you'd have somebody sadly dying of cancer to pay for their treatment or something like that,
Yeah.
and that I can understand.
I can't
But when you've
begrudge
got,
any.
When you got
anything
my
like
son
that.
Billy's got a 10-foot willy and he showed it to the lady next door. And my son Billy, he's going to be a poet. But so we want him to go to university and we need to raise £15,000. Could you all put your hands in your pocket and please chuck in some money for...
Exactly.
And
I know where you're coming from, mate.
I think that's the way that society seems to have gone. Rather than actually prepare and have the money yourself, it is kind of just ask other people for it.
So, if you at home would like to donate to the Marc Jeffrey podcast show, I'm looking to buy a new Testarossa Ferrari. I've got a Testarossa Ferrari fund set up at the moment. If you would like to donate to me, Liam is going to set up a page.
Yeah, and I will set it up. Despite what I've just said, I'll set one up. Please give generously.
Thank you very much once again for listening to episode 23. Please check out my webpage, www.jaff10.simplesite.com, for this week's links, and for show notes, go to there. Look me up on Instagram, the Marc Jeffrey Podcast. I am also on Twitter at Jaff10, Facebook, and also on iTunes. And all links I have said on this week's show will be on those domains. Please leave a comment on iTunes and help me grow into a big fat man. Or a fatter man. And if you are a band or fancy an interview or just want to say hello Send me an email to jaff10@hotmail.com. Don't forget that the Marc Jeffrey podcast show is now part of the Britpot Scene network, and you can find us by just typing in hashtag Britpot Scene. No, not Britpot, Britpod. I'm going to struggle with this, mate, I'll tell you.
Britpop.
No, it's not Britpop, it's Britpod.
I see what
Pod. We could say it in phonetic as well. Bravo, Romeo, Indigo, Tango, Papa, Oscar, Delta, Sierra, Charlie, Echo, November, Echo. Get that? Britpod Scene.
Roger.
Thank you very much, Liam. Any last words?
No, it's been a blast, mate, and I'll be back.
I'll be back. I think we'll do this. We'll do Liam's topic of the week right at the end, because I like that. That was good. Crowdfunding this week. Tell us what you think. jaff10@hotmail.com. Would you agree with crowdfunding? Well, it's that time to wrap up the episode. Don't forget, guys, look after those around you. Treat everyone how you wish to be treated yourself. And remember, your life may not be as crazy as you once thought it was.